Hello bookworms! Today I'm going to do a video about my top 5 beach reads for the summer. Summer's a great time to get a lot of reading in. People tend to have some more vacation time, and it's obviously the best time to use it because there's sun and everything's just beautiful. So whether you're sitting by the pool or you're going to a beach or even just like sitting on a porch and enjoying being outside and being in nature, it's a great opportunity to read. So these are some of the books that I would recommend if you haven't already read them. The first book that I would suggest is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. This book just screams summer to me. We have the two main characters here eating ice cream on a beautiful summer day. The book is about a girl named Emily, and she has a best friend named Sloane who was always the outgoing one that would create all of the excitement for the two of them. And then one day, Sloane just disappears, and Emily gets this note from her in the mail, and it has a list of 13 things that she wants Emily to do. So Emily has the entire summer to complete this list, and she kind of gets the idea in her head that once she completes it, that'll help lead her to finding Sloane. But it's just really fun to see Emily go on this personal journey and really like discover herself and reevaluate things from her past and think about what she wants for the future. And it's just such a fun story. You'll read it so quickly. There are playlists and it's just adorable. And then also the inside cover has more ice cream. How could you not want to read that? The next books that I would recommend are the Nantucket Blue and Nantucket Red books by Layla Howland. This is a duology, Nantucket Blue being the first book, Nantucket Red being the conclusion, and it follows a group of characters who spend their summers on Nantucket, and it's just this little private island, and there's a boardwalk and there's so many beaches, and it's just so much fun and so summery. And the way that she describes like the food that they're eating and just like all of the scenery is to die for. So if you're not already in a place that's like this, it's a great way to like feel like you're there even if you're not. I'll talk more about the first book because I don't want to spoil the second book. But in the first book, the main character, Cricket, gets invited to vacation in Nantucket for the summer with her best friend Jules and Jules's family. But right before they're supposed to leave, Jules's mom passes away, and Jules kind of closes herself off and starts acting differently toward Cricket, and she uninvites her from the trip. But Cricket gets it in her mind that she needs to be there for her friend, so she takes it upon herself to find a job and go to Nantucket on her own and try to reconcile things with her best friend and just be there for her in case she needs her. And she has different love interests, and it's just a really, really wonderful story, and the characters are so real and so amazing to read about. Like, I really want to read more about them because they're so fascinating. Like, I just want to know what else is going on in their lives. And I really hope that Layla Howland decides to write more with this series because I would love to hear like the college years. So if you haven't read Nantucket Red and Nantucket Blue, I definitely suggest checking these out. The next set of books that I would recommend is another series, and this is the Peter and the Starcatcher series by, these books are falling, by Dave Barry and Ridley Pearson. Just gonna hold up one of them because this is getting awkward and uncomfortable. This book was actually turned into a play in Manhattan, and I saw that and it was phenomenal. But these books are just so great for anybody who's a fan of Peter Pan. It's a prequel story, so it takes place before Peter Pan, and it's before Peter even has the last name Pan. It's about a little orphan boy who is on board the ship, and there is a mysterious trunk that is being transported, and it goes missing, and they need to find out what's in it and what it is that they're kind of protecting. And just all of the characters from Peter Pan are in it. You've got Captain Hook, you've got Peter, you've got Tinkerbell, but the main girl is, I believe her name was Molly. Yes. So Peter and Molly are just on this adventure, and you end up finding out a lot about Molly's family. And it's just really enjoyable, and there are so many nods to Peter Pan that anyone that is a fan of that would love, like all of the Easter eggs that are in here. Like, there were so many things that I read where I was just like smiling uncontrollably because I was like, oh, that's such a good way to tie that together. Oh, also, like, I mean, pirates. What screams summer more than like pirates? Obviously, I really like pirates because I feel like I keep talking about them in videos. But anyway, so if you haven't read Peter and the Starcatchers, I definitely recommend checking them out. There are 3 books in the series, and then I believe there are 2 more that they did that are not part of the series, but they're kind of like a spin-off from the first 3. So it's obviously gotten a lot of attention. I heard that Disney was supposed to be making it into a movie at some point too, but I don't really know what's going on with that at this point. The next series that I would recommend is To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. These books were so good. Like, I really, really loved the first one. And then when I started reading the second one, I couldn't even believe it, but I ended up loving it even more. It follows the main character, Lara Jean, and she has a hat box full of letters that she's written to all of the boys that she has had crushes on in the past. Those are like her closure letters, so she writes it to each boy once she realizes that she's not in love with them anymore, but she talks about what it was that drew her to them and why she's like changed her mind about them. So one day, someone comes up to her in the hallway with one of those letters, and then she realizes that all of them have actually been sent out, so you can imagine how awkward that is. And she's going and trying to get these letters back, and she ends up just in very interesting situations with certain other people. And despite all of like the love stuff, what I liked the most about them is the sisters, the song sisters. So Lara Jean is the middle sister. She has an older sister named Margot, and she has a younger sister named Kitty. And Kitty is like one of my favorite characters in any YA book because she is so sassy and so hilarious. She just like speaks her mind with no problem, and she is like watching The Sopranos when no one is home and just doing like tons of things that 9-year-olds should not be doing. But she's so like bold, and she just like does what she wants. Like, it's just so entertaining. I would actually like read a book that's just about Kitty. I cannot even imagine what she would be like as a teenager. So if you haven't read To All the Boys I've Loved Before and P.S. I Still Love You, these are fantastic beach reads. The last books that I would recommend are Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. There is a 3rd book in this series that's called Isla and the Happily Ever After, which I haven't read yet because it's not out in paperback yet, and I have these ones in paperback, and I'm crazy about having collections that are cohesive, so I haven't been able to buy that yet, but I think it's coming out in August, so I'll let you guys know how that is once I read it, because I will be getting it the day that it comes out. But both of these are love stories, and they're just really, really fun and really enjoyable. They're definitely like very quick reads, so whenever I'm like on a beach or near a pool, usually near a pool, because I'm actually not too much of a beach person, I tend to want things that are like a little bit lighter and fluffier and still have a really good story, but are just more fun. And these books definitely do that. You will be swooning like you wouldn't believe, because both of the main characters, the male main characters, are amazing teenage boys, and I like that they're very real. They have their flaws, so like they feel like real characters, which is fantastic, because a lot of times you don't really get to see that, and a lot of times in YA there are male characters that women are like swooning over that are just not, they just don't seem realistic, and these ones really do. So if you haven't read these, I definitely say that you should probably order them as soon as this video ends. So those are my top beach reads that I would recommend to anyone looking for a great book to read, whether you're going to be sitting by the pool, sitting on a porch, you know, reading on the beach, or wherever it is you may choose to be reading outside. If you have read any of them, I'd love to know what you have thought about them, or if there's anything else that you think that people should read, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will check them out if I haven't yet either. So I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!